Next, we have two recorded presentations. The first one recorded presentation by the ASCE President. So moving to that recorded message. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marsia Geldert-Murphey, and I'm the 2024 President of the American Society of Civil Engineers. I apologize that I can't be with you in person for this important workshop. I wanted to welcome you all and tell you how much we appreciate all the work that you're doing. This is a very important collaboration that we have with NOAA right now. We need reliable information on rainfall data while we're experiencing these extreme events and weather changes so that we can build a resilient and reliable system in all of the infrastructure that we're building. And so this work that we're doing through this MOU that we signed with NOAA is critically important. I appreciate everything that you all are doing. You all are doing important work for all of our communities around the world. And we need this information. We need your heavy lifting that you're doing. And we need this amazing collaboration that we're doing together to make sure that we have reliable, rigorously, reviewed data that we are utilizing for our designs and for the future, and to make sure that the work that we're doing, the designs that we're doing, the infrastructure that we're building will last and will be resilient for the life cycle that we want it to have. This is important work. I cannot tell you how proud I am of every single one of you, your expertise and your brilliance, and how much we need you right now. Right here and right now in this place and this time. Thank you again for your expertise, for your brilliance, and for your commitment to all our communities and all our well-being and helping us to build a better world for the future. Have a wonderful workshop, and I wish you all the very best.
Her views, right? So I think it's this workshop is timely. It's very important for our community. With that, I'm glad to know that the Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Oceans and Atmosphere and Deputy NOAA Administrator is joining us online, and she will be presenting. Thank you. Thank you, Jainey.
Thanks, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I also apologize I can't be here with you in person, but my name is Jainey Bavishi. I'm NOAA's Deputy Administrator, and I've had the pleasure of addressing this group before, both at the ASCE World Environmental and Water Resource Congress last year and at your planning meeting last August. I'm thrilled to be here again and see all the progress that you've made through this partnership over the past year. And there's so many thanks in order for this fantastic work. First, I want to thank the ASCE President, Marsia Geldert-Murphey, for her leadership and for setting the context with her recorded remarks. It's been great to hear from all of our ASCE partners this morning. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank NOAA's very own Ben D'Angelo and our ASCE partners, especially Dan Walker, Bilal Ayub, and Brian Parsons for arranging this event. And I also want to thank all of the attendees from the ASCE community, from NOAA, and from our other federal partners for taking the time for this important workshop amid other commitments. We know that everyone's busy. I'm happy that the ASCE-NOAA Task Force has included additional federal partners, in particular NIST, FEMA, and others who are attending today. So thank you all for being here. Many of our sister agencies have important connections with ASCE and valuable expertise to add to this ASCE-NOAA partnership, including critical climate data sets and products that will ensure the best available climate science is embedded in building codes and standards. You probably hear this statistic all the time, but I still want to start with the fact that in 2023, we experienced 28 separate billion-dollar weather and climate disasters. And I think we should start calling them at least billion-dollar weather and climate disasters, because many of these cause economic losses well over $1 billion. But in 2024, as of June 10th, we've already confirmed 11 billion-dollar weather and climate disasters, which have resulted in the deaths of 84 people and have had devastating economic impacts. And it's not just the billion-dollar disasters that we worry about. Climate-driven hazards are happening with increasing frequency everywhere. Just this past weekend, we've been under an excessive heat watch in the DC metro area with some of the hottest temperatures the area has ever seen so early in the summer heat season. Events like this and other climate impacts like flooding, sea level rise, wildfire, and other extreme weather events continue to pose more severe risks to our built environment, our natural environment, and our lives and livelihoods. And that's why we all know proactive investments in equitable resilience strategies are so critical to building the long-term resilience for all of our nation's communities before the next disaster happens. And that includes the long-term planning, design, construction, and maintenance of our infrastructure. And of course, this requires the adoption and use of updated climate-ready codes and standards for new and retrofitted infrastructure. The ultimate goal of our work here today and of this ongoing partnership is to do exactly that, to embed the best available climate science into the next generation of ASCE's codes, standards, and manuals of practice so that we can better protect critical infrastructure like our schools, hospitals, and homes. And we also recognize that there is work to do to ensure that NOAA's climate services, our data, information, science, tools, and decision support are accessible, navigable, and delivered in a format that can be tailored to user needs. I say all the time that our climate services are only as good as the value they provide to our users, and they must enable action to advance climate resilient infrastructure, not hinder it. Just last month, we released an Equitable Climate Services Action Plan that commits to expanding the reach and accessibility of NOAA's climate services, enabling the agency to better respond to the climate adaptation and resilience needs of all of our communities, with an emphasis on historically underserved populations. This plan is a culmination of feedback from NOAA's climate service users through a request for information. Accessibility in the context of the ASCE partnership includes ensuring that NOAA climate services can be readily used by engineers and easily translated to meet requirements of ASCE's codes, standards, and manuals of practice. Our new IRA-funded Industry Proving Grounds initiative will be presenting later today as a great example of these efforts. Working together will lead to consistent improvement of NOAA's climate services for the civil engineering community and other user groups as well, ensuring that our vision for a climate-ready nation will have sustained momentum and staying power well beyond the current NOAA leadership team and this administration. So to close, thank you all again for engaging in this critical work to build a more resilient, prosperous, and equitable future. We must work together to better understand how a new generation of climate-informed codes and standards and widespread adoption of these standards can help protect lives and property for those in our nation who are most vulnerable to our changing climate. I'm excited to hear more about the outcomes of the conversations you have here this week, and I hope you have a productive workshop.